Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so just have a look. Any questions you've got, all the answers for for filling in the form will be in this form here. Okay, this is your guide to filling it out.
This one, the two tiers. Your
me?
category has 2 tiers. You can make an expression of interest and an application for residence under either Tier 1 or Tier 2. Tier 1 has higher financial requirements and is prioritized before Tier 2.
That's what I thought it was. There you go.
Yeah, having 2 tiers ensures that what is this? INZ.
That immigration New
Zealand can extend invitations to apply for residence to people who have the best means of support in New Zealand and who are most likely to settle well when they immigrate. An applicant under either tier may include their partner in their application. So both tiers you can.
Okay.
So tiers. I'll check first the tier 1.
Yeah.
You can make an expression. The tier 1 has higher financial requirements.
Okay, let's have it here. Step 1, you can click official self. You can quickly check whether you meet the requirements of the parent category by reading this guide. Okay.
This will help you to decide whether or not to submit an expression of interest.
Okay, we've done all that. So let me see. We've done that bit. We've read through all of those.
Okay. But this is what we read just now.
Keep going. The 2-tiered system.
Oh yeah.
Tier 1. Here we are.
Tier 1. You must either have a guaranteed lifetime gross minimum income or bring at least New Zealand 500,000 of settlement funds to New Zealand, or yours is sponsoring adult child or their partner must have gross income of at least New Zealand 65,000 per annum, or a combined gross income of New Zealand 90,000.
Okay, so you actually
Tier 1.
You are Tier 1.
Yeah.
All right. So that's good. So let's answer that question. All right. So any questions you have will be in that guide.
So
I
I
just have to find it. Yes, tick Tier 1. Okay, the next question. If you intend to apply for the parent category under Tier 1 criteria, how do you intend to meet the financial requirements for Tier 1? And yours is?
Through your sponsor's income?
Yes. Okay. Now, Section H is sponsor's name. So we must remember, perhaps we could go straight to H now and then we'll come back and answer the rest of these questions. So let's have a look at H.
Oh,
it's a long way down.
Oh, yeah,
it's a long way. A is quite good actually. It's like A is all information about it.
Yes.
So here we are, Section H.
Where is it?
It's on page 14.
Here.
Okay. Minimum income requirements must be met by personal income obtained from sustained paid employment, regular self-employment, or regular investment income. For the current income figure, visit our website at www.immigration.gov.new Zealand or contact your nearest INZ branch. So here's what you need to fill out, and you need to ask your son these questions. What is your sponsor's annual income in New Zealand dollars? And then 2, if your sponsor has a partner who will meet the minimum income requirements or contribute towards meeting it, provide their name and date of birth, so the partner's name and date of birth goes in there. And if your sponsor has a partner who will meet the minimum income requirements or contribute towards it, meeting it, what is your sponsor's partner's annual income? So you need to put in there your son's, wife's income as well. So that's the 3 questions you need to answer in Section H regarding your son. So you get those details from your son when you're ready to lodge this, okay?
Okay.
And he can give you his current income. And at this stage, you do, and it says the last line here, you do not provide evidence with your expression of interest, only with the visa application.
So this is just like you just write
down what the figures are. All right.
Okay. So you want me to write now, or
you don't know the figures, so you can't give it out until you ask it. All right. So we'll go back to Section A. All right. But that's just for your future reference.
Okay.
All right. So start filling it in, and if you have any questions, you can ask me. All right?
This is the identity, section 8.
Yes, that's right.
Name as shown in passport. Family name.
You understand family name?
Yes.
Christian names or given names? Yep.
Yes.
Now, do you understand the next question?
Provide all other names you are known by or have ever been known by, like nicknames.
Sort of. It's for example, when you married, did you change your name?
Yes, from my maiden, we call it maiden name.
Maiden name, that's right. So this is your married name. So here you would put your maiden name.
We call it like the we have a term for that.
Yes, but maiden name is essentially it. So you need to put your maiden name in there.
That's
Okay.
it, yeah.
And no other names. So you've only been married once, and you'll have one maiden name. So you haven't ever registered yourself anywhere as another name. Okay, that's fine.
So this is just like my father's family name.
Yes.
Yeah.
So your preferred title. Now, do you like to be called Mrs., Ms., Miss, Doctor, or Mr.?
Mr., Mrs., Miss. Just put
There's Miss, which is totally unmarried, and I usually use this one.
Yeah, this one, the MISS.
No, I use this one because it means that I have been married
and then
divorced, and it doesn't really matter anymore.
Okay.
I don't care anymore.
You don't care anymore. Also, this one, it means like that. This one is the single one.
You can go back to Miss if you divorce, but I prefer to put MS because I think, I don't really care. I don't want people to know if I'm married or not, quite frankly. To me, I prefer to be known as Ms. McLean because no one knows if I'm married or single. Okay?
Okay.
It's my business, not theirs. Now, your date of birth, and if you have a look, it says day.
Yes,
okay? The American forms, of course, would have month, day.
That's what we
It's
use.
confusing, yes.
We are using the American.
Are you?
Yes.
Ah.
So we put first the month, and then the day, and then the year.
Ah.
Time, city of birth. This is in Philippines, right? The city of birth.
Yes, where you were born. And the country of birth is underneath. So the next one would be Philippines, but the first one. So if you were born in Manila or wherever you were born.
So this is Philippines.
Now here the next one is your birth certificate number.
This one I can't remember.
Which you don't have at the moment, that's right. So what we're going to do, I'm going to give you some little stickers that you can put on all the blank spots where you need to get information.
Okay.
So you need to get information anywhere that you put these little tabs, okay? So you need to find out your birth certificate number, okay? And they're nice little size because they just fit in there like that, okay? The name of the issuing authority, don't know, but we'll just assume you will answer all of these, okay? Your main country of citizenship.
Philippines. This one is.
Do you have you ever had or do you hold any other citizenship?
So NA?
NA. Always remember, don't leave anything blank. You just put in NA. You don't. It's not.
Details of all passport.
So you have a passport. So you need to put in here the passport number, the country where it was issued, the expiry date, the issue date, and where it was issued. Okay. So you don't know your number at the moment, so we'll put that in there. I mean, you could fill in Philippines, but that's, you need to fill in all the details of your passport. Right? Now, what's the next one down?
That's all. Family last name as shown in passport.
Yes. So,
family or the last name.
Yes.
Given name.
All right. So just remember when you're filling these out that you cannot leave anything blank. So if you see one of these, you make sure when you come back you fill in all the blank spots. And if it's not applicable to you, if it does not apply to you, then you put in a in there. All right. So that's the next page done. So it's easier to keep them in order if you turn them face down on that side in order. Yeah. Otherwise they do get out of order. Do you have a second passport?
No. So just put in A?
That's correct.
So in A?
Yeah, just fill in the blanks, make sure that it's all filled in.
This one?
NA. Yeah, that's fine. And then
passport still also
yep, just keep putting NA in. If they see a blank, they're going to reject you, okay? So
this one also?
Yeah, just put in NA in all of them to be on the safe
this
side.
One?
Yeah, that's probably not a problem. You don't have to worry about that one. So yeah, but all those blanks, put NA in it. Alright? Just make sure you don't miss any. And make sure you read all of the questions carefully.
I think this one we don't need two because I put already NA in this one, right?
Yeah, that's right, that's fine, yeah. Okay.
Applicable, provide the following details.
Your taxation number here in Singapore.
What does that mean?
Do you have, in Australia we have what's called a tax file number, and it's your registered number with the government for filling in tax forms.
Because we don't pay tax here.
You don't? Because of the way you earn money?
Yeah.
And you've never paid tax?
Maybe the levy.
The levy?
Yeah.
Do you get a notification from the government on that? Of the tax office?
No, it goes direct to my boss.
Okay. Alright, then that's probably not applicable.
Yeah. And because even in Philippines we are also we are exempted in paying tax.
You're exempted from paying tax.
Our job. We are an OFW.
What does that mean?
Of overseas foreign worker.
Okay, so you're okay, fine. Alright, then in that case, put NA in these. Yeah, put NA there.
This one.
Yep. Okay, so the social security number.
I have.
You have one of those?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll fill that in. Okay, and where is it from? The Philippines or from? Yeah. Okay. National ID number. Do you
In Philippines or here?
in the Philippines?
Yeah, I have voter's ID. That's one thing because we don't have like here in Singapore. They have one ID like you also.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of IDs.
Right.
Voter's ID. So the one I can.
So your national ID number you need to fill in there as well. Do you love these stickers? It's great. My favourite thing. Okay, so you need to put that in. And the country will be in the Philippines. So most of the information you're going to be filling in is for your life in the Philippines because you are a Filipino.
Yes, a Filipino.
A Philippine national.
So what is that?
Chinese commercial code, so it's not applicable to you. You're not Chinese. Okay.
This one also.
Yeah. So no. Okay, read the question.
List all countries, including all countries of citizenship you have lived in for a total of 12 months or more in the last 10 years. Include all countries where your stay has been broken by any departures. When your stay has been broken by any departures, start with the country that you live now.
Okay, do you understand that? Okay. What it's saying is list all countries, including the countries of citizenship, that you have lived in for a total of 12 months or more in the last 10 years.
So it's Philippines.
Well, no. Where do you live?
Now, Singapore.
Singapore. So the country you live in now is Singapore. So that is your first country, okay? So start with the country you live in now.
So it means Singapore.
Yes. Okay. So when did you move to Singapore?
1993 until now.
Okay, so put in 1993. Actually, it says month and year. It says month, year. So what month was it? Approximately, do you remember?
Yes, March.
So put 03 93.
93.
That's a good number. Okay, so 10 years, that's over 10 years, so that's the only one
Until
you
now?
want to, yeah, and it's got now in there, but you can put now in if you want to. Okay, so essentially that's the only country
Yes,
you've been
yes,
in for the
yes,
last
yes.
10 years, so that's fine.
Okay.
Turn that over, and I'll tell you what that's to do with. It has a lot to do with your character reference in the police checks they'll do on you, because if you had lived in more than one country, then they would ask for police checks from all of those different countries. Okay, so this is just one country. They may ask you for a Philippines one as well. All right.
Okay, definitely they will ask. Provide your residential address and contact details. Do not use your advisor's agency name. This is considered your permanent place of residence for tax purposes.
Look at my camera now. Look, all they can see is our feet. I'm not having any luck today with this camera, I tell you.
Do you think we need to do
No, it's okay. That's fine. We'll keep going. They've been able to hear what we said. That's fine. All right.
Provide your residential address and contact details. Do not use your advisor's address. This is considered your permanent place of residence for tax purposes.
That's correct. So what is your permanent address here in Singapore at the moment?
Yeah.
Where you're in?
Yes, I can write you. I will write now, but
Yes.
I can't remember. But I have.
That's okay. So you need to put that in. All right. Okay. And your daytime telephone number and your evening telephone number. So
But
it's the same. Just write it twice. Yeah.
Plus
65. Yeah.
971. Fox. Email? This one, NA.
NA, yeah. Very good. Yes.
If you're different from your resident address, providing your email registered advisors. Number and street name.
Yep.
Is this my
So
address?
hang on. If different from your, okay, so let's read this a little bit in the middle again. If different from your residential address, provide your mailing address, not your advisor's
not the
address.
agency.
If you are in New Zealand and this New Zealand address, that's all right, that's fine. So you don't have a different mailing address, or do you? Do you have a post office box or anything?
No.
Okay, so you put non-applicable in there.
This one.
Yeah,
The same.
yeah, all the gaps just to make sure that we cover them all. Yep. Okay, if your residential address is in New Zealand, okay, so we don't need that, so we'll NA that one. We're not living in New Zealand at the moment.
Hope so.
Okay.
Name and address for communication about this expression of interest. Name and address for communication. What I mean, the address that they were going to. Same as address as 813.
That's your home address.
So
Yes, so that's
address.
that's, if it's the same as address at A13, then you tick that box.
Okay. Name of contact person. My boss.
No, well you could, yes, you could put your boss, yes, because you live and work at the same place, so yes.
Then contact. Just the name and then.
Name of contact person, yes, and then the next one you put NA because it's not an organisation. Okay. It's actually about communication for this expression of interest. So do you want him to be contacted about it or not?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, cool. Right, no worries. Okay.
This one is NA.
NA.
Then NA.
NA. Yes, see, I'm starting to wonder about that too. What do you think?
Daytime.
Does he need to be contacted regarding this application? Not really, does he?
Yes.
Because he's your employer, is that why?
No, I think it's separate.
But I don't think they need to contact him.
It's okay. Maybe just a reference. Or it's okay also.
No, actually I would cross that out and say just your name there.
My name.
Yeah.
So we just
Cross him out and we'll put your
just
name
like
there.
that?
Because you want them to contact you directly, yeah?
so this my name.
Yeah. You're responsible for yourself. in this, okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Then this is our
Yeah, just all NA. Just don't worry about those NA.
yeah.
Okay?
NA.
Yeah, NA. Alright. See, A15. What does that say?
Do you authorize the person stated at A14 to act on
Yeah.
your behalf?
So this is interesting. So no. So actually, you don't need to put anyone in here. This is actually really good doing this because it's quite a
really
confusing
good.
question,
Yes,
isn't it?
yes, yes.
So okay, cross your name out, put NA. So we'll do another page for you for this one, okay?
Okay.
For a different one. But that's okay to run through it. And see why it's good to have a draft first.
Yes,
And
yes.
see how you go. All right. So you want no.
No. What is your preferred means of communication in relation to this EOI?
You want them to
Email.
email you or letter? Email is
Email.
probably better, isn't it? Because letters here in Sydney
If
are
you-
straight.
Prefer to be contacted by email. What email address do you want communication to? Given at 8:30.
Yes, that's right.
And this one must put NA.
NA, yes.
Do you authorize all other licensed immigration advisors or persons exempt from licensing who work for the organization named at 814 to act on your behalf
No.
if applicable? No?
If applicable. Just put NA next to it. It's not applicable to
Here,
you.
here.
Yeah, just put NA. Yeah. It is a bit confusing,
Yes.
isn't it? Yeah.
That's why I told you it's really, I think it's good.
Yeah, I think filling out forms is always
Yes.
hard, and if English is not your first language,
It's
it's even
true.
harder.
It's true. It's true.
To because sometimes the nuance of what they're saying is not
Yeah.
very clear.
Have you received immigration advice on this EOI? No?
No.
Then yeah, just apply. If you have previously submitted an EOI, provide the EOI number here in A.
NA.
What is your current partnership status?
So,
Separated.
one.
Can I think?
Yes, you are. You said
But I'm still using my
I was thinking my
ex-husband.
ex-husband's name.
Oh,
as well.
that's okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
separated.
If you, just before we go any further, if you decide to lodge the name with your partner
Yeah,
that
so-
you're living with now,
Yeah.
how long have you been living together?
13 years.
Right, okay. So you would then put married or in civil union, because civil union means you're not married,
Yes, but
you are together.
Yes, yes.
Okay, but we're
Now.
doing this for you at the moment.
Yes, yes.
And
yes.
if you change your mind
Yes.
and decide to put him on the application, you need to change that.
Okay. Do you meet the minimum requirements for recognition of partnership? What does this mean? Refer to the partner category guide.
Well, you're going in as a single person, so you put
No.
NA.
Just put
Just,
NA or
just
no?
put NA. Well, you don't not meet them,
Oh,
do you?
yeah.
So
Mhm.
just put NA. Okay,
Will your partner be included in your residence application?
NA. But of course, if you decide to put your partner
Yes.
in, then you have to change.
To change, yes.
Okay. Right. And the next section is section B, partner's identity. We don't have to
So
worry
just
about
put
that. Just
NA.
put NA on it. Yep. The other thing you can do, by the way, if the whole section is NA, you can do this. Go dump, 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 and then put NA.
Okay.
Alright?
Oh. So we go to other pages?
Go to the next page. That's just a quick way of doing a whole section that you don't need to answer.
Yeah, details of passport held by your partner. That one is also no, right?
Yeah, that's right. You don't need to answer B10.
I think all right. Were applicable to by the following
Yeah.
details.
So B10, the whole question. What is this one?
It's the same with it's this
Okay.
pertaining the.
Okay, so yes, so go chung, 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 whichever way you like. NA.
Oh, so you can do this
Yes.
way.
Okay.
Section C, character requirements. In this section, we need to confirm that you and your partner are of good characters. This is a prerequisite of the parent category. So do I have to go straight here?
Well, let's read the rest.
Question
C1 to
C1
C9.
to C9 relate to section 15 and 16 of the Immigration Act 2009. Persons prohibited from being granted a resident visa. People described in section 15 and 16 of the Immigration Act 2009 cannot ordinarily be granted residence in New Zealand.
Okay, so let's have a look at your guide and see what it says there.
What is this? From C?
To section C. So go straight to section C.
Is this the on?
That's all right, yeah. Is this the one?
I think this is the one that's
Let's
partner.
see. Meeting character requirements. Here we are.
When you complete a parent category residence application, Immigration New Zealand 1206, you and your partner, if included, must provide a police certificate from your country of citizenship and police certificates from any country you have lived in for 12 months or more, whether in one visit or intermittently in the last 10 years. So it means when you, whether in one visit. What does it mean?
So, okay. Alright, so it says police certificates from any country you have lived in for 12 months or more. So you've lived in Singapore for more than 12 months,
Yeah.
so you need to provide a certificate from Singapore.
Okay.
Whether in one visit
Or intermittent.
or intermittently. Intermittently means a bit here and a bit here and a bit here, so like going in and out of the country. Intermittent.
Okay.
You understand the word intermittent?
So it means, example, if I go to Malaysia, no?
Yes, if you go to Malaysia a lot and you have spent 12 months there intermittently, over the last 12 months, say you go there for, I don't know, a couple of weeks at a time, but quite often, then you have to provide.
Okay.
If you go there for a holiday once every year or so, then
It's okay.
Okay.
Yes, I understand. These documents should not be provided with your expression of interest.
That's right. That means that like we discussed before in the earlier section, you don't provide any evidence or
During the
EOI. You only do that once you have approval to submit your visa. You're only submitting an EOI at the moment. But you have to be aware that you will be required to, at a later date, you will be required to submit character references from the police. Okay?
So I understand this already.
Alright.
This is the one that I'm not really sure whether in one visit or.
So where do you go to? You go to Malaysia.
Yeah, but
How many times have you been there?
No, we went few years ago already.
No.
So recently, no.
No. So it was just you. How long did you spend there?
A day only, then come back.
They're talking about more long term. Say you had a house up in Malaysia and you went up there once a month and you stayed there for a few days every month, then you would probably.
But if you just go there for as a tourist for one day, then you come back.
It's not really applicable unless you went for a tourist every week.
Every week.
For a
The
day.
one
Then they
we
would want to know. Okay.
For information on how to obtain a police certificate, visit www.immigration.government.newzealand/police certificate. Accessing the website is the quickest means of obtaining this information. However, if you do not have access to the internet, you can either call us on 0508558855 if you are in New Zealand, or 09-914-411 if you are in Auckland, or contact to your nearest Immigration New Zealand branch. You must declare whether you have ever been required to leave any country, including New Zealand, including where you have left voluntarily after your visa has expired. What does this mean?
Okay, so it says you must declare whether you have ever been required to leave a country. In other words, if the country says you get out, okay? So if you just left a country, that's not a problem. But if the country said to you, you must leave now,
You were served.
Say you overstayed your
persona non
visa.
grata.
Yeah, perhaps you overstayed your visa. Perhaps you did something criminal. Perhaps there was something else.
You
then
were
you have to let
asked
them
to.
know. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. You must declare.
That's fine. Okay, so let's go back to the question. Here. This one.
Have you or your partner ever been sentenced to imprisonment for a term of 5 years or more? No.
No.
This is scary. Have you or your partner been sentenced to imprisonment for a term of 12 months or more in the last 10 years?
You're not a criminal?
No. Are you or your partner subject to a period of prohibition under the Immigration Act? No. Have you or your partner ever been deported from any country, including New Zealand? No. Have you or your partner been involved in any terror? This is quite scary. No. Have you or your partner been a member of or belong to any
terrorist group?
Have you or your partner been involved in any drug trading? No. Have you or your partner been a member of or belong to any group with criminal objectives? No. Have you or your partner been a member of or belong to any group that has engaged in or supported criminal law? If you answered yes to the question, you must provide a full explanation about the surrounding circumstances.
Well, it could be people who were mistakenly involved in something.
If having considered you're really fair.
Yeah.
Yes.
So put NA there. That's not applicable to you. Okay.
Are you or your partner currently under investigation or wanted
By any law
enforcement agency in any country? No. Have you or your partner ever been convicted or found guilty of any offenses against the law in any country, including convictions that resulted in a suspended sentence or any expunge? What is this? Criminal records. What is expunge? Expunge?
Oh, okay. All right. Have you or your partner ever been convicted or found guilty of any offences against the law in any country, including convictions that resulted in a suspended sentence or any expunged criminal records? Another expunge means that they were deleted, they were got rid of. So maybe they convicted you, but then what do they call it when they have when they come back and they say no, that was unfair, and they retrial you and they say, oh, okay, you were innocent. So it's an expunge.
So they can do that. They can just erase the record.
So they've erased the record. So the answer is no, because you haven't had any criminal record at all. So you haven't even had a criminal record that was wiped.
Have you or your partner been convicted of an offence, including a traffic offence, committed within the last 5 years involving dangerous driving, having consumed excessive alcohol, including drunk driving, and driving with a blood alcohol content in excess of a specified limit, or driving having consumed drugs?
So have you been drink driving? Have you been drug driving?
I don't drive.
Okay, well there you go. You're easy. Okay.
Have you or your partner ever been charged with any offence against the law of any country? No. Have you or your partner ever been deported from any country, including New Zealand? No. Have you or your partner ever been refused entry to any country, including New Zealand? No. Have you or your partner ever been refused a visa permit for any country, including New Zealand? No. Have you or your partner been involved in any people trafficking? No.
I can just see you.
Huh?
I can just see you as a people trafficker.
Have you or your partner been a member of or belong to any group of people that has objectives or principles based on hostility against people or groups of people on the basis of color, race, ethnic, or national origins?
So what they're saying, in some countries you have the extreme right fascist movement, so like people who don't want immigrants in the country, or people who are against gays, or people who are, they form these groups and they say, we hate black people, like the Ku Klux Klan in America. They're saying, have you ever belonged to any of those groups?
No.
So principles based on hostility. Hostility is hatred and violence against people or groups on the basis of their race, colour, ethnic or national origins. So,
Have you or your partner been a member of or belong to any group of people that has objectives or principles based on an assumption that persons of a particular race or color are inherently inferior or superior to other races or colors?
Do you think some races are superior? Have you belonged to any groups that think so?
No. Have you or your partner in the course of applying for a New Zealand visa made any statement or provided any information, evidence, or submission that was false, misleading, or forged, or withheld material information? No. Have you or your partner in supporting any application by another person for a New Zealand visa made any statement or provided any information, evidence, or submission that was false, misleading, or forged? No. This is like you are giving testimony, supporting, or helping.
Have you, if you've provided information or evidence
for
in
another
the course of
application,
in applying for a New Zealand visa, and you haven't applied for one, so the answer is no.
if you answer yes to any question, you must provide NA. Just put NA about the surrounding circumstances.
It's just NA.
It's your expression of interest.
Yeah, because you didn't say yes to any of them. Okay, so go down to the next bit. Health
Section
requirements.
the health requirements. In this section, we need to confirm that you and any partner meet in a minimum standard of health, which is prerequisite of the parent category. Providing accurate information about your health status is very important. Question: do you want to D4 list medical condition for which a medical waiver cannot be granted? People with these conditions cannot ordinarily be granted residence in New Zealand. If you do not have a partner who you are including in this expression of interest, answer its question for yourself only.
Okay, so what they're saying there, do you understand that? They're saying that if you answer yes to any of these, then you probably will not get a visa into New Zealand, because they don't want people with these particular medical conditions. And that's only because the medical costs and medical treatment in New Zealand is free for the most part. You know, it doesn't cost very much.
Oh yes,
at all.
yes.
So they don't want people coming with these
Just
very,
for the sake for free
healthcare.
healthcare.
So do you or your partner
Required.
require dialysis treatment now or in the future?
No.
Okay. Do you or your partner have tuberculosis?
No.
TB? Do you or your partner have haemophilia? Do you know what haemophilia is?
What is hemophilia?
Haemophilia is excessive bleeding. So when you bleed, you can't stop bleeding. It's a rare condition. Some people are born with haemophilia, and it just means that they often die as children anyway, because if they cut themselves, they can't stop the bleeding. They don't have the clogging or coagulating element in their blood that we have. So they just bleed to death mostly. So in the old days, they always died of it. Today they can save them, but they don't live a very good life.
Really?
Okay. So,
No. Do you or your partner have a physical incapacity that requires full-time care? No.
you know,
Have you or your partner been exposed to or diagnosed with infectious or communicable diseases? Are you or your partner receiving or have either of you received any treatment for any psychiatric condition or developmental disorder?
I know you're crazy, but we'll keep that a secret.
Do you or your partner have any condition that is likely to require ongoing treatment or medication? No. So it's
in that section too.
In this section, we ask you to confirm that you meet the minimum standard of English language, which is a prerequisite of the parent category. Provide the following details about your English language ability.
Okay. So how do you meet the requirements for a minimum standard of English? Select only one. So you can either sit for an IELTS test report, which means you sit an English test and you would pass it easily, I think. Okay? It will give you a level, and I think there are 7 grades. But it'll give you a level of your English, and I think probably the minimum requirement is around about 4. Oh, it is. It says a level 4 or above. So you would easily be at least a 6. Okay?
So I put some.
So, or you can, you have completed a qualification that is entirely in English, which I don't think you did you?
That was conducted entirely in English.
No. Or completed qualifications that meet the minimum standards as defined on the guide. I think you should sit an IELTS test because it's the simplest way of doing it.
Okay.
Okay? And you would pass it quite easily.
So just tick this
yes,
one.
tick that one. Okay?
Provide details explaining why you meet the minimum standard as defined in the guide under English language requirements in the section summary of terms.
Okay. So how do you think you meet the minimum standard as defined in the guide under English standard requirements in the section summary of terms? Let's see if there's something in the guide on that. E2.
E2.
Okay, so it's about English language, so it's...
Completing English language ability.
Yep, that's it. So let's have a look. Minimum standard.
Oh, no.
Yes.
This is
Sorry. Yes.
All applicants need to show that they meet the minimum standard of English unless you are pre-purchased English language for speakers of other languages.
Okay. Do you understand that? It says you need to show that you can meet the minimum standard unless you pre-purchase lessons in English, and that is the ESOL. Okay, English is second or other language. So you would sit the IELTS test, and so therefore you don't need to buy ESOL.
The ESOL.
Yeah.
Therefore, you will need to provide evidence or proof of this with your application. For example, if you stated you had an international English language testing system, IELTS report, the one just now, right? You will need to provide this for more information.
Okay, so here you would put something like in this details here, and this will be something you need to fill in later on, and you can always reprint this page, it's not an issue. I would put in there, I passed the IELTS test at a level of 6 or something like that, whatever level you get. So just write that down quickly so you remember what to. I passed the IELTS, IELTS exam at a level of, and then put your level in there after that. Yeah, but you don't know the level.
Yeah.
Okay, and here you need to. So you need to actually go and do an IELTS test, and then get your test report. I can put it in there. Okay, and then you will fill out all these. Okay.
Okay.
So that's something you need to do as well. So before you sit this one off, you need to do an IELTS test, and I can help you with that.
Okay.
Or I can show you how to do it.
Okay.
Okay. Now the next one's about your partner.
How does your partner
It's
meet
not
the
applicable.
Okay, because I'm just put here or
Actually go a line through there.
then the same.
Okay.
This one.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Family details. In this section, please give details of all your family, whether they are migrating with you or not. It is not necessary to list deceased family members. If you or your partner have any dependent children, you will not be eligible for residence under the parent category.
So, do your partner have any dependent children? Yes or no? Okay. Please give your parents' details, including both biological and adoptive parents. If your parents are deceased, give details of legal guardians of any and/or grandparents. Now, hang on a second. Details.
But this is, I think this will apply for
Let's see.
underage minor, is it?
See, have a look in the family details.
Yeah,
What it
it's
says
here,
there.
it's here.
Yeah, F2. Okay. Please give your parents' details.
When when you make a residence application, you will need to provide evidence of the relationship between you and all your children, including your New Zealand resident adult child. You do not need to provide this when you submit an expression of interest. Evidence of relationship to your children. Evidence of a parent's relationship to children is original or certified copies of birth certificates. So all there's birth certificates.
Yeah.
Showing
But you don't need, it says you do not need to provide these right now. So what about this? Legal
guardians and grandparents.
Okay, let's go across to the next page because that's not actually telling us anything about this. Evidence.
Evidence of adult. Evidence of where is
This is
the
all
children?
the evidence. It doesn't actually tell you
Completing
Okay, no, that's not yet. Okay, so it doesn't actually give you the information. All right, so we have to work this out by ourselves. Okay, let's have a look at F4 first. Let's go from the bottom of the page. Give details of any children you have,
include
and stepchildren from previous or current marriages. So they're
just my children.
just your children.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the F3 is give details of your brothers and sisters. You
Okay.
have them.
Yes.
And then
The parents.
your parents.
So if my
And then-
my dad passed away, so just my mom.
Yes.
Yeah, because
And-
they said the
yeah.
one is
Actually, you could put your father in there too and write
This is-
deceased
this is-
next to it.
okay.
Okay, so you put that in the country of residence. So I'll leave you to do that later on because you need to. That's going to take quite a bit of work to put those in. But you understand what you have to
Yes,
do.
yes,
So you
yes, yes.
you simply have to, and I'll just for the whole lot. So you have to put their full name, their gender,
gender,
the date of birth, their partnership status, whether they're single, married,
married.
etc., and then country of residence. If they're
Residence.
deceased, you write deceased. Okay.
Okay.
And that's for your parents, your siblings, and your children.
Okay.
Okay? Next one.
F5,
Yeah, but you don't need to, of course, it says if you are
including your
partner.
partner. So just put
Yep, the whole page is out. Yep.
yeah.
No, we don't need to do that. Okay, right, okay. Yes.
Section
Sponsor details.
just things.
Okay.
Sponsor's name assured in your passport. So my son.
Yes. So you put his name in, his family name, and then his given names.
Okay.
Does he have a middle name or just two names?
Just this
Just
name.
the name, okay.
This one is NA.
Yeah, that's right. He's male.
Date of birth. 25th of July. 19. This is always my problem. 83, I think. Yeah, 83.
That's so funny.
Always when I,
Yeah.
when I fill up, like there you need to write. So this is like,
So country of birth.
Philippines.
Country of citizenship.
Philippines.
Then his address. That's
That's what I do.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll fill those in later. Okay. So go down to the next bit.
If your expression of interest is selected before your sponsor is eligible, you may not be invited to apply for residence.
That means if your son had only been there for a short time and hadn't hadn't met all the requirements, then you may not be asked to apply for residence in New Zealand. But I think you're okay. How long has he been there?
Still July since last year, July.
July last year.
Yeah, just-
So don't put this in straight away. So wait a little while and see
Yeah.
what. Yeah, okay. All right. So, is your sponsor currently in New Zealand? Yes.
Yes. Is your sponsor a New Zealand residence plus visa?
Just leave that out. You have to ask him. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. If your sponsor holds a residence class visa, well, that will be when you get the answer to the first one. Okay.
If
So-
your sponsor holds a New Zealand resident, is your sponsor liable for deportation? What does it
Is your sponsor liable?
for deportation?
Not applicable, I think. Just right, not applicable.
Or just
I'll
tick
just
tick the not
tick.
applicable?
Yeah.
Is New Zealand your sponsor's primary place of established
Yes.
residence? Has your sponsor previously breached any sponsorship obligation, or do they have any outstanding debts as a result of another sponsorship arrangement?
No.
Has your sponsor entered insolvency? What is
It's either been
insolvency?
Insolvency is bankruptcy. No? Not yes. No. You just tick yes. Scribble. Scribble it out.
Is your sponsor serving as a custodial sentence, or are they awaiting?
Convicted? No.
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 Is your sponsor sponsoring you for the purpose of receiving a financial reward or fee? No. Is your sponsor receiving a government benefit from work and income, a service of New Zealand Ministry of Social Development? Note on completing section H2J. Tier 1, if you are submitting an expression of interest under Tier 1, you only need to complete one section, either section H or section I or section J. What is this?
Okay, so that means you are going in under your sponsor's
just that
income,
section
so you
H.
just need to do section H, okay? So you need to do, oops, sorry, get this stick here. You need to do annual income. You need to do, and this is what we talked about before. This is the edge, the section we looked at before.
Mhm.
Okay? So you need to find out those details from your son. And then this one, just explain. Yeah.
If you intend to include a partner as a secondary applicant in your
Okay, this is all
in
NA.
until here? No, only here. What is the sources of guaranteed lifetime income minimum? I think this one only.
All of it is out because you're doing the
Yeah,
first
my-
section,
yeah.
you're not doing this
So this
section.
one.
So the whole thing, NA. So you don't have to do J. The next page
This one also?
is also out. Okay. Then K. Declaration for the
Of the expression of interest. This section must be signed by the principal submitter on behalf of all the people included in this expression of interest. Make sure you understand the declaration below before you sign and agree to them. For more information on the declaration section, see the declaration in the parent category guide.
That's that one there, but you don't read. Okay, let's read the declarations and I'll explain them to you. You don't need to read the guide. You can read that
This
later.
one?
Yeah.
I understand that if I make any false statements or provide any false or misleading information or have changed or altered this form in any material way, my expression of interest may not be accepted. Any resident visa application may be declined and I may lose any right to appeal. I may become liable for deportation. I may also be committing an offense and are liable to prosecution.
You don't understand what that means?
Yeah.
So if you make a false declaration or you put down misleading information, anything that's not true, then they can kick you out of the country. They can refuse your visa. They just don't want you, quite frankly. So you have to be totally honest in everything you do. Okay?
Okay. I understand the notes and questions in this form, and I declare the information given out myself, my partner, and any children is true and complete. I declare that I have listed all my family members, including any adopted by law or by custom, and my grandparents or legal guardians, if any. If both my parents are deceased, and understand that the non-declaration of any family members may result in that family member not being recognized as part of my family in future applications.
Okay, so what they're saying here is that you have to put everyone in your family down, you have to declare them now, because at some stage in the future, if you decide you wanted to invite someone from your family to come and join you in New Zealand, and they're not on this application, they won't be recognised, your application will be decline, and you could be thrown out of the country. So you have, again, it's just all about honesty. You have to be totally honest from the start to the finish, to the best of your knowledge. You know, put in everything you know. Okay.
Okay. I will inform Immigration New Zealand of any relevant fact or change of circumstances that may affect affect the decision on my application for visa, or 2, affect the decision to grant entry permission based on the visa I intend to apply for.
Okay, that means that, for example, say you had a drink driving charge after you've submitted this, and of course on the form it says, have you had a drink driving charge?
Nice.
And then you would have to let them know, you have to write to them and say, I have had now a drink driving charge, I need to change my application.
When they will ask me to apply for the visa?
No, it says here, I will inform Immigration New Zealand of any relevant fact or change that may affect the decision
on my application for a visa.
So you or affect the decision to grant entry permission based on the visa I apply for. So you need to let them know immediately if your circumstances change. Okay, you just need to let them know of anything that changes on this application. So you always should keep a copy of this application. So you send them a copy, you keep a copy, so that you have evidence of what you provided to them. Okay, that's really important.
I declare that there are no matters or warrants outstanding or investigation of any kind which could have any current or future effect on the assessment of my good character or the good character of any other persons included in this expression of interest. I understand that if I have received immigration advice from an immigration advisor, and if that immigration advisor is not licensed under the Immigration Advisors Licensing Act 2007, when they should be, Immigration New Zealand will return my expression of interest.
Okay, so what they're saying there is, if you use an agent and they're not licensed to be an agent, they'll just return your letter of intent.
So you have to make it sure that your agency is
you have to see their license. And check on them. So always, everything has to be totally above board and honest. Okay?
I authorize Immigration New Zealand to make any inquiries it deems necessary regarding the information provided on this form, and to share this information with other government agencies, including overseas agencies, to the extent necessary to make decisions about my immigration status. I also consent to any organization providing relevant information to Immigration New Zealand about me.
So you're saying they can go and check with anyone they like, what you told them is the truth. Okay?
Whatever I wrote on the EOIs. I authorize Immigration New Zealand to provide information about my state of health and my immigration status to any health service agency. I authorize any health service agency to provide information about my state of health to Immigration New Zealand. I accept that any advice given to me by Immigration New Zealand before expressing interest and submitting this form was intended to assess me, and acting on that does not mean that any later application for residence will be granted.
Any advice given to me by Immigration New Zealand before you put your expression of interest in and submitting the form was intended to assist you. And acting on their information does not mean that any later application for residence will be granted. In other words, if you ring Immigration New Zealand and ask them for advice, just because they gave you the advice doesn't mean they're automatically going to approve you.
Okay. I understand that in order to work in certain occupation in New Zealand, registration is required by law. I accept that the grant of residence does not guarantee that registration will be granted. I have not included any documents with this expression of interest.
So then you need to, when you finish the form, you fill it out and then you sign it there. Okay? And date it at that stage.
Section L, Immigration Advisors Details.
You don't have an immigration advisor, so that's fine.
All? I think this is all. Exempt from licensing.
Yeah.
Tick the box below.
You don't need to do any of that. NA. The next page, the top bit is NA.
Declaration by person.
Is from here to
This
there.
one.
Yeah, that's only to have an agent.
This one.
Yeah. And that's where you send it to.
Submitting your expression of interest to this.
Yep. So that's the address you use when you finish the form and you're happy with it and it's all complete. You then send it to that address, okay?
Okay. Complete section O, P, and Q only after you have received an invitation to apply for residence and are making an application.
Okay, so this one is after you receive approval. Okay, so when they write to you and they write to you and say, yes, we'd like to extend you an invitation to apply for residence. We'd like to ask you the following questions. Okay, so this is question number, page number. So they'll fill in question, they'll give you the questions and the page, and then you have to answer the questions. They may have no questions.
Also, it means when you're
say, for example, you send in your application and they write to you 6 months later and they say, yes, mate, we'd really like to have you apply for a visa here in New Zealand. Excuse me. And then they say, however, on page 14, we'd like to just have you further clarify this question. And so they would write it, and then you would say, yeah, and then you would send it back with the correct answers. Yeah, explain.
Or explain, and provide the correct answer, and then explain.
Yeah.
So this is the part.
Yeah.
So they will put the
they will give you the questions, and that's where you put your answers. Okay.
Okay.
And then it sort of changes to your application. So they might say, well, hang on, we checked this, but you don't seem to have this quite correct. So could you explain that? So here, declaration for changes. So when you give them the answers on the next page, you sign a declaration saying this is true changes to the application. Okay? They probably won't ask you for any changes.
But just in case. Yeah, just in case.
And then the next one is declaration
by person assisting the applicant.
So that would be if you have
an agent
working with you, but you don't. So that's it, and that's the whole thing. And then here, the very last page.
So this one put in A?
You don't know, you just leave it.
Just leave it.
Yeah, this is only for later on if you need it. Okay. Go to the next one, it's just a blank page, and here, this is the fees. Okay.
Okay. So you have.
So you can go online when you get home and have a look at this website here. And see how much it would cost you to apply.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And then you could write it there. Actually, they write it. Where it says office use only, they will fill in the amounts. But you can go online and have a look how much it will cost.
So this is for them to
office use only is only they will fill it out. Okay?
This part. All of this? Only this part?
Only this part. They will send this back to you. So you send the whole form off.
Okay.
And then they will send this back to you, and they will put down the fee.
Okay.
And then you will write here how you're going to pay it. All right.
So this is for me to.
Yeah, that's later on when they approve you. Okay.
Okay.
And that's it. Yeah.
Whoa.
That is it. It's simple, isn't it?
It's not. If you are alone, it's not simple. You need really someone to help you to understand.
It is a bit hard, isn't it? But it's okay. It is confusing at times, but if you just follow all the directions, it is reasonable and simple.
But if an applicant, as what I told you, not really always be, always be in all these English words, or it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Because there are terms
that you don't understand.
And then some people, when they read, they have different.
They interpret it differently.
Yes.
Yes. And that's very easy to do. You might look at a question and you read it one way and you think, oh yeah, that's what they mean, and it's not exactly what they mean. It can be a little confusing.
Yeah. That's why I ask you when there are words that I don't understand.
Now I'm going to show you this again. This is this one about applying for a visa online, and I want you to tell me if you think it's as easy as they say.
Study, work, or live. You'll know there are a few things you need to get sorted. The good news is that you can apply for your visa online, and it's now easier than ever before. In fact, it's faster and cheaper than a paper application, leaving you more time to plan the fun stuff. No matter if you're coming from Shanghai or Suva, you can apply for your visa online from anywhere
if you're a tourist down there. In
If you have a tourist visa, you can apply for an extension.
Down there?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Which is good. I mean, these are all really simple.
But the problem is how you are going to get all your.
Well, no, they're talking about a tourist visa whilst you're in New Zealand.
Ah.
So, in fact, this looks really simple. But your visa you cannot apply online. You can download online, but you have to send a paper copy. So it's not really as easy as they make out in that video.
Because they need the hard copy.
Yeah,
they need,
exactly.
they need everything.
Yeah. And then later on they need all the proof of your
So
application. So stop. So yeah, whilst this looks really simple, it's not really as simple as they make out. Now,
I think the Singaporean, they don't need a tourist visa, right, to go to New Zealand. I think they don't have.
I'm not sure about that because I'm not Singaporean. I don't need it. I'm Australian.
Yes.
I'm not sure otherwise, but I just thought I'd show you this one again because I think this is beautiful. Oh, come on. Stop. Go away. This is the inspiration that we need to get you moving to New Zealand. It's so nice, isn't it? That's the kiwi. And that's why they call New Zealanders Kiwis.
Yeah. So that's why I didn't know that kiwis are bird. Why is it? It's that bird that really when you talk of New Zealand, it's kiwi. What is
Because
that?
kiwi only exists in New Zealand. It's the only country in the world that has that bird. New Zealand's a little isolated country that broke away from everywhere else very early, and it has very few animals and birds.
Oh really? They won't survive in any country?
Well, they do, but because it broke away so early, it's got a very small number of animals and birds on the island. And those birds that were brought in, of course, they occur in Australia and other parts of the world, but the kiwi was one animal or one bird that was only ever found in New Zealand. So obviously, as the islands broke away from everything else, that bird developed in New Zealand and it's the only place that it
It's
exists.
interesting.
Yes.
Number one, I thought.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Wow.
But it looks just like that. It is a stunning place.
It's very really nature and
Yes.
then calm, peace.
Yeah.
And my son said, the people are really nice.
Yeah, they are. They're lovely people.
He said.
Yeah.
He said they more treat foreigners better than those foreigners who came to New Zealand and become New Zealander.
Yeah.
Like example from the Mexico.
Yeah.
He said his first boss is from Mexico and now become a citizen.
Yes.
And then he said compared to other bosses New Zealand in the dairy farm, the New Zealand bosses are the Mexican become New Zealander is worse. He said the way they treat them.
Really? Whoa. Okay.
And
All right.
now he is going to a new boss. He
Oh,
changed,
good.
and then it's a New Zealander.
What does he do?
He's in a dairy farm.
Oh, so what does he do there?
Pardon?
I mean, what's his? He owns a dairy farm? No. What's his
No.
position?
He's just started. He just how I don't know how they call them there.
All right. But then he's a job in a dairy farm. Okay, cool. What I want you to do for homework
Yeah.
is to just go through that same website, which I think I've given you.
Yes.
Did I give it to you? I will write it down for you. But I want you to go through and then have a look at the actual application for a visa
Okay.
and make sure that you understand that as well, because this is your expression of interest form.
Mhm.
And then, of course, after you're approved for this, then you have to go and do an application for a visa. So
Okay, so
I want you to go
will
through
bring-
and look at all the requirements and work out what you need,
For
how
the
to get
visa.
those, and then have a look and find the application for a visa form and just make sure you understand that as well.
Yes.
Okay, so that's your homework.
So maybe you can give me a note.
Yes.
What is it? Because I can bring this, right?
Yeah. You can take all of that. Yeah.
You can.
I'll keep your questions that you answered. I'll just turn off this film so we don't have to worry about that anymore. We don't need to be on film anymore. Bye.